Croissant. This is James, aka JP Harker, coming to you with another video of basically the stuff I've been reading, the stuff I'm going to read, and the stuff I'm writing. You all know the drill by now, so let's kick off. The books I've been reading of late, the one that I've been spending quite a while on, because it's a research book, I tend to take a bit longer with research books, is Alison Weir's Eleanor of Aquitaine by the Wrath of God, Queen of England. And oddly enough, while I was in the middle of this, I thought I'd give it a fairly, I say low score, a lower score than I was going to, because the beginning is very, very good and focuses on Eleanor and her early life and her marriage to Louis. And the end is very, very good because it has her in her 60s and when she's taking a very active role in the ruling of England and keeping what's left of the Angevin Empire together. The middle section I enjoyed because I like Henry II and his sons, and I like that sort of the building of the Angevin Empire and the start of the Plantagenet dynasty, and I do very much like Henry II. I think he's a fascinating character. So, I say character, real bloke. So I liked it, but I can understand how someone picking this up thinking, it's a book about Eleanor, might find the middle bit, feel almost cheated by it, because she's not really involved, because Henry's got her incarcerated for a lot of the time. She's not really mentioned, but the author sensibly keeps us up to date with what's going on, and it feels almost as if, and also there's some evidence that Eleanor moved to this castle because there's a bill. But apart from that, and again I found it interesting, I would recommend this because even as someone who knew a bit about this story already, I learned some stuff that I did not know, and there was some interesting stuff about Richard and John as well near the end, and the very big role that she plays in keeping things together right at the end of her life, when she's, by medieval terms, quite ancient. But Richard's difficulties and John's ineptitude means she has to step to the fore, and I found it very interesting. So, Eleanor of Aquitaine by Alison Weir. Will strongly recommend. Another book that I've been reading, and it's a reread because I absolutely love it and I've been watching the TV series again, is Bernard Cornwell's Last Kingdom. I'm not going to bang on about this because I love Uhtred, we all love Uhtred, and it's the story of him right at the start, from when he's a kid. Unlike the TV series where we sort of skip from him being about 12 to him being about 20, we've got all of what happens in between. So we've got him going to Mercia with Ragnar, we've got him fighting the Welsh, we've got him meeting his uncle, and the mention that, again they don't mention in the series, that Ethelred is Uhtred's cousin, and Aelfled, who is Arthur's wife who hates him, she's also his cousin. But they sort of gloss over the fact that they're family, and I found that a nice, interesting little tidbit in there. But I could bang on about Bernard Cornwell stuff for days, I'm not going. So let's have a look at what I am currently reading. It's an absolute blind coincidence that while I'm reading The Last Kingdom, I am also reading The Final Empire, which is by Brandon Sanderson. And it's the first of his books that I've tried, and it's alright. People go on about Brandon Sanderson quite a bit and about the Mistborn books. It's not bad, I've been sort of kind of interested in it, but the big mark, sorry, this book's filthy, the big mark of a book for me is if I can't wait to get back to it. Now I tend to read in my lunchtime in work, as you can tell because this has been in my bag. I don't look forward to, I must catch up on this, I'm just mildly curious. So we'll see how it goes. I'm about sort of a third of the way in. We'll see how this one turns out. It's not bad, but it's not captivating. So we'll see. I'll briefly mention this one because I've only just started it a couple of days ago, and that's Giles Christian's Odens Wolves. I know it's not the first of the series, but I only found that out after I bought it, because I picked it up from a charity shop a while ago. And quite reminiscent of Bernard Cornwell, and I don't want to fall into the trap I fell into with Drums of War, of reading something that's a bit like Bernard Cornwell but not as good, and then judging it harshly. So I'm trying to approach this with an open mind. It's good so far, a lot of characters to keep up with right from the word go, so we'll see how that turns out, but so far, a bit of Viking-y fun. And one that looks a lot more impressive than it is King Arthur, Idylls of the King by Tennyson. And this looks like it's sort of a massive tome that'll take years to get through. It's actually a collection of poems, so it's not filled with dialogue. And what's quite nice, I'm going to try and find a good example, is it's full of illustrations. So you probably can't see very clearly from the camera, but you've got some lovely artwork as you go through it. I'm not a big poetry reader, generally, so the reading of it is alright, quite interesting, but it's very nicely broken up and it's a very sort of beautiful book, that you've got this lovely detailing and you've got these lovely pieces of art all the way through it. And I'm liking it not so much for the read, but for the experience of the book, if that makes sense. That sort of ties us in nicely with what I've been up to in writing, and that is of course Arthurian stuff. This last week I finished the first draft of Lancelot, so hurrah for that. It's taken a while. Gawain, as I've probably mentioned previously, should be out sometime in June of next year. Everything's a little bit sort of slowed down because of COVID, which is only understandable, but it should be out June of next year. That'll be the first of my Arthurian books. Lancelot's going to be the second, and this week I began work on Arthur, which I shouldn't be doing because I should be going back to doing Blood and Woad, or I should be going back to doing book 5 of the Caledon saga, and I want to get back to doing my big fantasy series, but I'm sort of in the zone as far as the Camelot stuff goes at the moment, so I thought while I'm in the zone I'll start planning out Arthur, so I'm just doing the overview of that, putting in the outline of the plot and a few cool character moments. And since I'm in an Arthurian mood, I thought I'll read some more Arthurian books. So that's kind of where I am at the moment. I'm still working on the Caledon Saga game. I very handily have some people playing it now and then. I got absolutely hammered at my own game the other week by Kayla from Cracking to a Good Book, so thanks for that. I invented the game, I invented the world, I invented the characters. I still got horrifically maimed in the game. Yeah, so... But there we go. So I'm working on that as well, and a few other bits and pieces. So I think, yeah, it's pretty much caught up with where I am at. Very long-winded, I know, but I've got a lot on, I've been doing a lot of things. The usual drill applies with these videos, you know the drill by now. It's like, subscribe, contact me if you're interested in the books, go online, buy my books, say lovely things about them. You all know the drill by now. So, this is James, aka JP Harker, signing off. Will out.